Hey everybody, welcome back to Fed Up, episode 8. Today joining me is Thoralf from the progressive power metal band Factory of Art from Germany. Danke dir for joining me today. And I know it's
Fine.
very hot there, so are you surviving?
Yeah, I'm here in my office in the fourth etage. I don't know exactly in English. I have to.
Yeah.
It's 31 degrees here in my office. 27, but it works. It's very hot here, but I try to enjoy it.
Yeah, yeah, no doubt. It's getting air conditioning obviously helps us as well. So, just for people who may not have come across the band before, could you tell us just a little bit about Factory of Art?
Sure. Factory of Art is more than has more than 30 years history. The band was founded in 1990 as instrumental progressive band. I wasn't in the band at this time. I'm not a founder from the band, but since 2002, I'm a member of the band because the first two albums they did were very very good music. I think very good songs. It was so hard to make it possible to hear the band all over Europe. In Germany, it was okay. I think we were uh, well known. I think in the scene in the hard rock and metal scene, but in Europe, it was what was very hard. And in the we've got two full-length album, Grasp, and the Tempter album, the second album. And the Tempter album was published in 2002, and then there was a big break for the band. Some of the members left the band. The two guitarists left the band to found new bands and earn money with music.
Mhm.
With metal, to make money in Germany is nearly impossible if you are not Scorpions or such things.
Yeah,
Um, for us, it is a great pleasure to make it hard music. Now, since 2002, we had several projects. The most important thing is a tribute project. Um, not Factory of Art, but Factory Undercover, and
ah,
we play 3 hours of hard music from AC/DC to Van Halen, uh, and that's the thing we kept the band alive through the years, and. We were as good as possible, I think, and we love what we do, sure. And then I think our drummer Ralle had the idea. He said 2 or 3 years ago, "Come on, guys, let's try. Uh, let's try if we are able to write new material." Yeah, sure, well, yeah, we try, and now we have 12 or 13 new tracks. We recorded just 10 of them for a new album, and Polo Marco, our manager, who contacted you too, um, uh, try I can't say exactly. Try to make us known with the elder material. You know, because you can say, okay, uh, if you want to know what music we make, you can hear the Tempter album or the Grasp album, um, and we hope that we can make or that people will be interested in the new stuff that we bring in a few months. Factory of Art was on a good way supporting Yngwie Malmsteen in the 90s
well,
and other metal church. And it was in Germany we would say auf dem Weg. the band was on the start to get bigger, but then a few members left the band. The lineup broke, or it was broken, and so the great break was necessary. And now we have our next try.
Yeah. Well, that's really interesting to hear. And sometimes you need to take that break. Yeah, life can sometimes prove to be difficult, get in the way, or you just need to do other things for a time. So it's nice that you have got back together. You're making music again. Hopefully, the fans and the audience that you had from the early years are still following the band, and then with the new album, which we'll talk more about, you can draw in new people, new fans. So that's a really good thing. And it's is it still is it still difficult to make money as a metal band? I mean, some people say, with all the social media and technology we have now, it's easy for promotion, but has it really changed in the sense to make money easier?
It's not the reason we make music to
Yeah,
make to make a lot of money is not the
yeah,
reason. We are musicians, not professional, but from the heart.
yeah, good.
And we love the music that we play. Uh, sure, we have. I started to listen music with Van Halen, AC/DC, and the new wave of British heavy metal. Saxon was young. You can imagine Biff Byford was a young man, and we loved what he did. I love the 80s and the 90s of Saxon a little bit more than the very early years. Um, but to have the chance to have five guys, we are a funny crowd of engineers, IT experts, entrepreneurs, pedagogical directors. Uh, that's that's our way to make money. We have families. We have to take care about them. But when we take our instruments, let me see. When I take the guitar, then
Yeah,
it's my alter ego, and then nothing else counts for me, and it's the same for my bandmates too. And it's in the German Fassung edition of the Blues Brothers film. You know, this classic. Um, um, one brother says to the other, "A band is just a band," and that's the truth. A band is a fantastic thing. Um, and we enjoy our next season, I think. And we hope that the new material, or with the new material, people can love Factory of Art again. Uh, we try to. I don't know exactly in English. Fight back, hold back, or get back our older
mhm,
fans
mm,
from the 90s and 2002, 3 or 4. Um, it's not so easy, but they remember. Ah, Factory of Art. Yeah, I know. We play live some of our classics, sure, and you make we see the reaction of the people is still very good. Yeah, I know it, I know it, I know it, and that's a nice moment for us, and we hope it will work. We know that we probably not getting world well known with the third album, but we hope that we have a positive reaction, that the people say, hey, a good band, thank you therefore. That's the thing we do it.
yeah. It. Hopefully, as you said, it can bring back the fans from yesteryears, new fans as well. It can grow in Germany, hopefully internationally as well. Maybe some of the radio stations play your music. That will help expand you, and you never know. If someone could invite you to play a festival. in another
Yeah,
country
true.
in the future, that would be a great help. Um, One thing I did notice when I was listening to your music is the range of influences that I contained with it. I can hear the Queensryche Dream
Yeah.
Theater influence, which is very good. Even like kind of the rock from guitarists like Joe Satriani, all of
Yeah.
that is
Yeah.
contained in there. And when I was listening to the album Tempter, which Marco had, sent me the information about, um, when you get towards the end of that album, it's even heavier. There's some thrash
Yeah.
actually comes in there, so there's this mix. There's I don't know the lady's name, but I think she was on track 6. I think halfway through, and she
Hmm.
brought in some very kind of nice, very melodic vocals.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it seems as a blend of all this different music, which I guess goes with the name Factory of Art. You're creating this art from all of these styles. So there's a lot there which I think could attract a listener to your music because you were drawing from all of these elements. So
Yeah.
I'm guessing that is to do with your backgrounds, all of you come with what you like in heavy metal, and you're bringing all of that together.
Yeah, that's so nice of you. I think that's the thing we want to continue. That we have a not such a small range, so a little bit
Mm,
open-minded to go.
yeah,
We have one special thing. Uh, uh, there are a few bands who changed the lead singer, and uh, yeah, like Van Halen or Deep Purple with Coverdale and
yeah.
with ACDC with Bon Scott and Brian Johnson. We have the special thing that we have the both lead singers from the both albums. From our first album, um, Grasp, to the Tempter album, the lead singer changed. The first lead singer, Gunther, left the band, and Petri, the new lead singer, came in, and you hear him on the Tempter album.
Mm,
Now we have Gunther, our first lead singer, in the band too. He plays keyboards and make lead and back vocals. So we have the both lead singers of the history of Factory of Art now in the band, and we try to make the best out of this special situation. Because some of our fans said, ah, yeah, the Elder album Grasp is fantastic. Some the Tempter is number one. Now we have both lead singers. Um, and we try to make the best out of this special situation, and everything else is the same. We have several influences, um, uh, not only metal but other things. We invited our friends of a very known, world known vocal ensemble from Leipzig. I don't know if you know it. Leipzig is the city of Johann Sebastian Bach.
yeah.
This is classical music, and we have such a very good choir here, and some former members of the St. Thomas Boys Choir have a very good vocal ensemble. I know them and ask them, and they will making sing the back vocals, the chorals on two of our songs. So we have the classical influence a little bit too now.
Mm,
It's Let's see how it works. We are very begeistert, amused. I don't know
it's
about
okay.
that. um, and we hope it will work. On what do you need? You are very special, very right. Um, the promotion today works completely another way than 20 years before. Yeah, it's maybe it's easier. We can speak from North England to East Germany.
Mm,
Can make it so that's easy, but it's a little bit tricky because it's so very different. So many. Little radio stations and want to make it right. But I like it because my one of my dreams is to have a known radio station. But I would play the Half Day Rush because I love this Canadian guys. Rush is one of my favorite bands, um, and I think the two or three people would hear it. But yeah, sure, so it is. Yeah,
Well, you never know who's listening. The same if a radio station plays your music. Somebody, as I mentioned earlier, could tune in and they could run a festival somewhere. So the more exposure you can get for Factory of Art is an excellent thing. And yeah, I think that is the. I've often talked with guests about the negative side of social media, but the positive is, as you rightly said, I'm in the north of England, you're in the east of Germany. We can talk what the band is about. People can listen and hear that. So it's it's good on that side because we can really help you reach a wider audience,
yeah,
hopefully. And
yeah,
yeah, and that is the good thing. And for me, it was one of the reasons why I relaunched this YouTube channel. It's been really sat dormant. I mean, there is oh. It's a shame, Marco. Very welcome to shout to Marco there, who's just popped in the chat. Um, yeah, I thought I wanted to do something where I'm talking to people from all genres of music. I hope to get on some guests from outside of heavy metal and other areas of interest because it all falls under art. It's all just different forms of it, and I
yeah.
find it really interesting talking to people such as yourself on why you create your music. Um, so yeah, um, hope I've said that correctly. People be thinking, "What's he saying?" Sometimes it's so convenient when you're talking and your mind just decides to leave the building on you halfway through a sentence. Just would you please come? Would you please come back? Oh,
Yeah, sure. It's
yeah. So, so as could you then please tell us a little bit about the new album? I appreciate you maybe you don't want to reveal too much, but perhaps some of the lyrical themes,
yeah.
concepts, and a little bit about the music. Is it going to be kind of different or what you normally play in Factory of Art? I'm
Yeah.
very just curious. Mm.
Okay, let me begin with a lineup. I
Okay.
just told the two singers, Petri
Yeah.
as main singer, as lead singer, and
Yeah.
Gunther, uh, second lead singer and keyboards. Uh, Ralle, the drummer of the Tempter album, and one of the benchmarks of Factory of Art, our very tall bass player Ron, and me, Thoralf, the best because one and only guitarist of the band now. We just a little bit changed the lineup. Uh, just one guitar and keyboard. We were Gunther and me on keyboard and guitar. We have the job to yeah take some battles or duels together, and uh, we have recorded 10 tracks. Three, four out of five, I think, are uh, at the length of 6 or 7 minutes. We have not
Nice.
such progressive works from 9 or 11 minutes. But 7 minutes is for me okay. There's a guitar solo,
Yeah.
there's a part C, there's instrumental part, but we have. I think we have to say something not only through the music but through the lyrics. And Petri, our lead singer, is our writer. He has the ideas. I think he wrote all the lyrics in a few weeks. Maybe we had the idea. It's always the same thing. Our bass player Ron is a songwriter too. He wants to present the band the perfect and complete song.
Yeah.
I'm the second songwriter in the band. I have only riffs. I come with a pocket of riffs and like, hey, look here, my new riffs. Let's make a song. Fine, thank you. And then is a work for Gunther on keyboards. Our he's a very good musician. He can imagine. He looks at me. I play my riffs. He looks at me, and I think, oh, will he beat me? Will he? What will he say? And after a few seconds, he says, "Okay, play it faster or more slowly." And so it works. And so we had all the music for the new album. Gunther had, I think Gunther is our best musician in the band. He had some ideas. You will hear it with modern keyboard sounds, with progressive parts for guitar and bass.
Mm.
Um, I think it's very interesting. It's something new for us. But Petri has an idea. He has an, maybe it's a big word, but a vision.
Yeah.
What could mean it? And he wrote the lyrics for we worked together. He needed my help with my very bad English. Then we gave it to an American girl, and so we have. I think. Yeah, probably good English version of the ideas and the thoughts of our lead singer. I'm very impressed of that. Um, it's not so easy. I think I give him the riffs, and he sings, had a vocal line, and I think it's a very good job he did for the lyrics. It's not typical metal. We have not no mystical lyrics, also not Dio. We don't fight against dragons or such things. It's I think it's the dark side of life. We are
Right.
life went for us all, I think, good or very good, but we not too sure we have darker experiences, and Petri is absolutely able to take these darker emotions and thoughts and yeah, express it through words. He is a very good writer. He is, for my opinion, uh, I think he could write lyrics. He cannot do it very good, and uh, so we have a special album title. The album will be called uh, "Back to Life" because
Ooh.
we spoke about 2 decades of break uh,
Yeah.
with our project with tribute as a tribute band, and Back to Life is I think a very good title for an album from a band more than 30 years old and more than 20 years not with an album on the market. And there are some actual themes, like one of the tracks is called "Face Behind the Mask," um, and such things. It's not mystical. But it's dark.
Yeah.
So I would say.
But I find this intriguing because yeah, okay, it's not mystical, but there is real life experience
Sure.
drawn from the dark side that people can go through. So that makes it very relatable for fans and new fans because we can go through similar experiences. That can make both, in my opinion, the music very authentic and even more real because it's, hey, this is the influence behind our music and the lyrics as well.
Yeah.
And I was getting the sense when you were telling me about uh, that it was based on this darker side, and uh, now I'm going to demonstrate my incredibly bad Deutsch. What was I going to say? I had it in my head as well. No, yeah, yeah. Believe it or not, I'm Studenten of Deutsch, and
Yes.
yeah, yeah, but not a very good one.
Okay.
Yeah,
Try it
yeah,
again. Yeah.
yeah.
No,
Okay,
and yeah, and it's not. We have in Germany some bands only with English lyrics. We have some bands only
yeah,
with German lyrics. Um,
mhm,
f- we had the idea to think about German lyrics, but for metal music, I think English language is like an instrument, like an instrument of expression. Um,
yeah,
you study Spanish too. I know some Spanish metal bands, Barón Rojo, and but they also have English lyrics. Um, it's I think it's a language of harder music is English from the
yeah,
history from the uh, presence, and I think it will be in the future too. Um, but it's not so easy to express exactly that what you want in a language you not
yeah,
exactly you not exactly speaks. um, I think I studied English in school and in university, but most of the influences I got from the lyrics from my favorite metal bands.
yeah,
I grew up behind the Iron Curtain in the GDR, and every new album from Saxon, from Maiden, from all these bands, we like it was like a ritual, like a cult. We had to hear the music, we have to read the lyrics, we have to translate them, and we have, I think that's a very very important factor for uh, German musicians if they take or if they make English music. The influences from English or American band is very important for this. We try our best. I think it's not without errors or mistakes when we express our thinking. But okay, we are a German band. We talk about this, and um, I hope it will be okay.
I'm sure it will. And yeah, English has become, I think, kind of like the how Latin was at one time when that was the common language.
Yeah,
When or if we can't understand each other, we'll switch to language. We'll switch to Latin, and
yeah,
I think that's certainly becoming the case for English around the world. Music, definitely, you can get singers that what you would think are completely fluent in English because they can sing perfectly in English, and then that is not their natural mother language, and they can't speak very much of English at all. But as you said, I think it has become that extra instrument. Um, Certainly in heavy metal, I mean, English is Germanic
yeah,
language to be originally, um, and it adds that fire to the music. Um, I personally, a band where regardless of where they come from in the world, if they're singing another language, I will still listen to them even if I don't understand them. If the music is good and I like it, I will still listen. And it's amazing how choruses can you can
yeah,
remember and some think, oh, you speak, Dutch, for example. And it's, no, 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 just
Yeah.
So but I do, as I was saying previously, I do like that you were drawing from those real world experiences because I think it makes the whole creative process um, just that much more authentic in that sense. The say for writers, who write stories, books, movies, if that person has lived that experience, it can sometimes make the best stories because they have gone through that. So that has me intrigued. The title I like, Back to Life, for
Mhm.
what you were telling us, and it's like, yeah, it's you're back. You're resurrected. You've got this new start, and we're back. This is what we're going to do, and it's kind of like it's the good foundation and set up for another album past this one. So I thought it was really interesting to hear
Yeah.
for sure.
Thank you. Mhm.
No, you're very welcome. So um, the artwork then for this release, and I appreciate we don't want to, give too much away on that area, but with it having that real world basis from the dark and negative experiences, I guess that some of
Mm.
you may have gone through in life, is the album cover going to reflect that? Is it going to have quite a dark feel? Less mystical.
Yes, some of the songs are very dark and I think are
Yeah,
very hard music. We have some less heavy stuff too, because um, I think the electric guitar is one of the most important things of the 20th century.
yeah,
It changed music, it changed lifestyle, it changed our hearing, our expression. Um, but now we have some very heavy stuff with dark lyrics. We have not funny stuff, but
Mhm.
so not so serious stuff. Um, uh, the people should hear that we have fun with the music we
Yeah,
make. Yeah,
yeah,
uh, uh, sometimes we guys the technical and musical. Level of the younger bands is very impressive. Drums, guitar, yeah, yeah. But sometimes I feel it's a little bit too much of them. And if you are in our age, if you are, you have two full albums on the market, and you have our experiences. Sometimes it's cool. Uh, 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 to make some things a little bit less heavy. It's we now we felt it during the recording process. Um, Gunther had some ideas taken from Toto, Steve Lukather and co. We thought. Toto. Now, sure, we know Toto, yeah, Africa and such things, but there is a musical intelligence, uh, not heavy, but very impressive. And we gone some separate ways, and um, but it's so in the lyrics you ever find a serious component of us. It's not there are not no jokes in our lyrics. There is not fun, but I think Petri wrote intelligent lyrics. He founded the right words to express what he wanted to say, and but if you will hear the whole album, sometimes you will smile. I hope, I think, about some musical ideas, some things we brought into our hard and heavy concept. Um, we have the plan that we have recorded, we have edited all the tracks. Now it will be mixed and mastered in by Jacob Hansen. He mixed and mastered Volbeat and such things, and we contacted him and asked him if he would be interested in to mix and master a German metal band. Uh, I don't know if he will do it exactly his personality he by himself, but we sent the whole stuff, all the tracks, to the Hansen Studios in Denmark, and we hope that we will get the best sound
Yeah.
for our level. That's a very great experience for us. How you can record an album in these days. If I think about how many German marks or euros we gave into studio recordings for the first two albums. It's horrible. Now it's not easy, but it's very, very comfortable for musicians if you have the right plug-ins and the right if you have good ears and a good engineer,
Yeah.
says the possibilities for bands are so great, and we hope that we made everything right, because now the master at the Hansen Studios will control our tracks, our files, and we are a little bit nervous. What will the master, the grandmaster, say to us? Record it again, or oh, I don't, such things we don't know exactly. Um, but we think a little bit. We recorded the whole album by ourselves. Um, we edited we have the artwork. Petri was not only the writer of the lyrics; he took care about a very good artwork. We have to describe it in my bad English. There is a railway. Uh, Destroyed railways since it looks like 20 or 30 years as we it didn't work, and now there grew a tree out from the railway, and that's for us a symbol back to life. There is some broken, something is destroyed, and some new uh, will
Yeah.
grow from. And this is the idea. It looks very, very cool. It's if I in the music press and in the fan signs magazines, I compare new albums from bands with contracts with our. It's okay. It's the same thing, because um, it's just a thing that our lead singer has in his mind. I don't know where he take these ideas from, but he had the ideas, and we work it. But um, the the very important step now is to finish the album in mixing and mastering. We are a little bit nervous, but we are uh, very proud if we in I think weeks or months will hear the first stuff mixed and mastered by the Hansen Studios. That would be cool for us, because if I say we are elder statesmen, we have experiences, we have jobs, we have families, but we are little boys if we listen to our own music. If Gunther, our keyboarder, he edited the songs. We recorded it. He edited this means he um, heard every single take we gave him, and he took the best and the correct things and packed it together for a whole track. If he bounced some songs and sends the emails with a yeah rough mixes of these songs, we were as I said, as little boys, yes, yes, very good, very good. Oh, and yet now we wait for the finishing in the Hansen Studios. Then we want to. It's my dream. I want to put the album on vinyl, and we want to. It's very expensive
Yeah.
to make a CD. Is a joke. It's so cheap thing to, but and vinyl album is very expensive to produce it, um, but it would be so nice to have it as an vinyl album, because I don't know exactly how other bands, successful bands, how many CDs, physical CDs they sell. I don't know in these days. I think I'm such a guy too. I'm only listening here with my streaming. I don't know exactly. I think an vinyl album is, uh, I think, a very, very nice thing to have. And I
Yeah.
hope some people will say, okay, I will buy it. But for promotion and for making the people hear our music, the social networks are so necessary. But it's very cool. It's very good. It's a challenge for us, but it's just a good and easy way to make a band a little bit known.
Yeah. It's an essential tool, commodity. Um, I hope everything goes well with the recording. I'm sure it will. And it's good to. I like that idea of the tree, like rebirth, tree of life.
Yeah,
Yeah, very very cool. And you said like a new beginning. Um, I can obviously hear the passion that you have for the music. Again, you're all very excited to do this. So that's
yeah,
obviously a really good thing. And it's interesting you mentioned vinyl. Um, a lot of guests this week have mentioned vinyl as well, and that it's very expensive to record to, but they want to make vinyl releases of the music as well because it's kind of now it's like a piece of art that accompanies the band that you follow. Um, Even if you've got the digital version of the album, the CD, the vinyl is still a
yeah,
different experience. Um, some people, I mean, I'm sure you've seen the same, where they'll have the vinyl displayed on the wall, like art pieces
yeah, yeah,
around. So there's a real like collectors following and movement with vinyl. And in recent years, we've got this kind of resurgence of it. A lot of vinyl music stores. Um, so yeah, and I think with that cover that you've described to us, seeing that on vinyl would be very very beautiful. Um, a lot of bands have said that they can do like an alternative version of their music or just of this of one of the songs on vinyl, make the art slightly different, and it is becoming, as I said, that kind of extra piece of merchandise and
yeah,
something for people to collect who are followers of music. So definitely, and it's interesting that vinyl is, I guess, an older form of technology than CD and a digital medium. Yet, kind of the newers can be cheaper to record to. But I think it's for the reasons we said, because vinyl is revered as an art piece as well.
yeah,
Um, so I mean, if you think you get a rare vinyl press, say, of someone from whatever period, probably from way back, that will be worth such a lot of money now, especially if it was a limited edition or the first press. We've seen it on TV, the auctions. These things can go for millions and millions of dollars. Um, so yeah, I can definitely appreciate why it would
yeah,
be expensive, but it will give people that other experience with how to listen to music and see the art as well, which I think is really cool.
yeah.
Mm.
Ich sitze noch in der Konferenz. Alles klar? Gut. Äh, okay.
So I understood the last sentence.
Yeah, no. This
Sorry.
was our
Yeah.
facility manager, and okay, but I think just as I'm a proud owner of the first Iron Maiden album
Mm.
in original.
Wow.
I've got the vinyl. This wasn't. I told you I grew up behind the Iron Curtain, and for us, um, the albums of our heroes from especially from Great Britain, were so precious things. I bought it for 250 marks. It means it was in West Germany you can buy it for 10. I bought it for 250. And if you went home and put it on your turntable, it was so great. But it was a little bit sensible vinyl, to hear it, and you hear some. Oh, it was such a catastrophe. But I think that a CD is. Um, CD is out, I think, because all music we hear is digital. Now we have
Yeah.
to not a physical CD. We stream it or make it on a stick. Such things, I think, and that's why vinyl album is the thing that the people will buy. I think I don't know exactly. Uh, uh, we have to think about what we do, because a CD to produce a CD will take €1, 150. A vinyl album 10, 12 euro. That's if you say, well, okay, how many things we will produce? 500. Think about 500 for 10 or whatever. It's not for a band like us. Not so easy to decide, but it's our dream to make it, because it is an album. Today, I think, is a vinyl album. You will stream it. You will have it on several social network channels. Okay, but if you want to have it, to own it, I think today you have to buy it on vinyl.
Yeah, it's owning a piece of history that can accompany, as I was saying, the band that you are following. So there was another guest who mentioned that listening to vinyl is a very different experience, even the smell, the
Yeah,
packaging, um, and also you were saying a few minutes ago that some of the songs were lighter, but that gives a good variety to your music because I personally listen to a lot of the you were saying in the extreme.
yeah,
I do, but it doesn't mean that I can't like other music or other styles or be open minded and think, right, I will give this a go. Because if anyone says they listen to the brutal 24/7, you don't. I love that
yeah,
music, but you
yeah,
are not
yeah.
listening to it 24/7. You will go to a lighter style like music. Um, when just as I guess a break or something different because you
Mm.
like music is a mood thing and sometimes you be so I've been listening to for the whole week.
Yeah, sure.
You may reach the latter part of the week. I want to listen to something different today, and there is a market for it. I mean, the power metal and progressive scene is huge. We are currently seeing the revival of classic rock, as they call in the
Yeah,
new wave of classic rock bands playing that style, and the riffs are excellent. The drums, it's got that dirt in the music. There's something catchy about it. You have stoner rock, which is
yeah,
hugely blues influenced, and I love some of that stuff as well. So it gives you are giving people a good range there, a good variety, and saying, look, we are drawing from other music, the choir you mentioned, and anyone who can appreciate a good crafted piece of music.
yeah.
We'll enjoy it and we'll give that a chance. So I think this is very intriguing because it sounds like there's a lot of work has gone into making this album, both lyrically, musically, obviously, from the range it's drawing from. It's not disposable music. As you said, there's intelligence to it. It's not something that, oh, hey, it's made me feel good for 5 minutes, which I'm saying
Mm.
there's nothing wrong with that. But it's not forgettable. It's not
Yeah,
so easily discarded. It will stay with you. And then hopefully people can look back and say, back to life from Factory of Art. Man, that was a good album. I like this, and then that leads up to them
Yeah,
following for the next albums.
that yeah, this is well said. Genau, exactly. That is what we want. Yeah, for
Yeah,
as a reaction, we know that there are better musicians. If you look to the internet, uh, guitarists, wow, these young
yeah,
guys, what technical, wow, or drummers, such on a but I just said it. A band is just a band, um, and you have to uh, 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 yeah, combine all the talents of the band members, of my bandmates, and that's the thing we do. We have idols. I've been socialized musically with ACDC. When I was 11, my first single, no, not yet with ACDC. My first single was Slate. Come on, feel the noise. Um,
ah,
for me, the musical way was clear. Yo, guitars, uh, a voice like Noddy Holder. Well, that's good music. Yeah, fine. Um, and now the metal has so many types of music. We
yeah,
had Typo Negative. We had Van Halen. We have all the black and death metal scene.
yeah,
A very good example for me to declare or to express what I mean is there is a band from Thuringia in Germany, well known. They played Wacken Festival this year. Heaven Shall Burn. I don't know if you
yes,
know
yes, I
them.
know. Yeah,
Heaven Shall Burn. It's very great stuff. But you said it 24/7. If I hear 3 or 4 tracks of them, I'm through. It's okay. For me, it's enough. I love it. I respect it, and I'm very impressed. I saw 3 or 4 tracks live, but let me tell you, it sounds like a very old man tell you that. But I looked the live stream of Wacken. Uh, I saw Heaven Shall Burn. Then came Uriah Heep, and I thought, Uriah Heep. Let's see and hear. And let me tell you, the best musicians, the best band, the best sound, rock sound in this had Uriah Heep, and they were 50 years on stage. It was I couldn't believe it. We know in Germany Uriah Heep for uh, 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 Easy Living, so classics, Lady in Black and Freeman, but it was such good and great music. Okay, they have a very young drummer to make it a little bit modern, but it was very good music. And that's the range. A Factory of Art now uh, enjoys the range of metal and hard music these days. And I told you we have classical singers on the album. We have a growler in Germany, a good known growl man to express some lyrics in our darker songs. We have a lady on lead vocals on one song. We have some guests invited, and I think it will make the range of Factory of Art just a little bit bigger. And
yeah,
for us, it's very cool. But I respect all these bands who have musical direction. Um, uh, Sometimes we are not so. You cannot say, okay, that is Factory of Art exactly, but we hope it was well said by you. If the people say, ah, yeah, Factory of Art, not exactly my thing, but I respect it. It's good
yeah,
music.
yeah.
That's the wish we have.
Well, yeah, definitely, and thank you. This is one hope from doing these kind of shows where I don't expect everybody to like every music that we are talking about or is featured, but if they find something interesting and as you said and respect that, and I think anyone who's got an open ear, it's like when you see a band live and it's not the kind of music I like, but they are good for what they do. They're good musicians, so I
Yeah,
respect that. I've been in that situation myself. Um, yeah, I do listen to heavily. That's my favorite, the extreme end. I do listen to, if you like, growling and everything and shouting,
yeah,
hardcore and death metal and thrash, etc. A hell of a lot, yeah. But it I wanted as well this show to be wide ranging so that it's not just always like Gaz's favorite music all the time. There's something different, and that's when in art, if you've got different ideas, it can sometimes make the best art because you're drawing from that different perspective. And you're right, metal has so many subgenres. It is insane, and it keeps evolving. We keep getting
yeah,
new ones as well, which is good, and it's drawing from all these different kinds of music and integrating them. I mean, for example, jazz with some of the death metal drummers coming from jazz backgrounds for
yeah.
the speed. That is, I find that fascinating. Um, so, and I've forgotten my point as I'm. I had a point here with this. It was related to what you said. It really was. It's awesome. That's the punk side of me because I like my
Yeah,
hardcore and punk. That
yeah,
sometimes creeps in.
yeah. Sure. Let's lose a point.
Yeah.
But I think it's a very important thing. Um, we often play with younger bands, with younger guys. Sure, um, uh, but. For us, it's a very good experience to feel, to give the respect, our respect to these younger guys, and to feel the respect from the younger guys for us, for our music. Sometimes they they have these uh, leather things and look like Judas Priest in early days, yeah. But then we come a little bit, oh, you're the elder statesman, and they feel and they hear, hey, okay, these guys know what they do, um, and we say, oh, wow. You're a great young band. Uh, we think you have a good future. That's very very nice. It's very close, and for us, it's very very good experience. Um, as we wrote in this time we wrote the tracks for the album, for us was a very good experience too. That our guests, our classical singers from the vocal ensemble Amakord, um, j- they are now on Japan tour. They give concerts in Japan and
Wow.
large classical halls, very very very
Wow.
good. um, and I said, we invited them to sing on two of our tracks, the backing vocals, because I know them very good. But the time they said, "Okay, we'll do it," we played these two songs. We heard it together, and they said, "Wow, sure, let's make it." We had ideas. You could sing the refrain here and flat maybe here some choruses. No. We will arrange it for ourselves, and that was a dream. These
Mm.
classical monsters said, "Give it to us, give our material to us. We will arrange it for us." That was so great for us. About great moment. On this moment, we thought, okay, so bad can our music not as it will not sound it, and now we'll see how the finish
Yeah.
in Denmark works. We are very very nervous, but um, you said the right words. For us, the next challenge and the next thing to manage is to present the materials, the new material live on stage, because we spoke about CD, vinyl, streamings. Um, for a band like us, the most important thing is to play live on stage and
Okay.
to show the people there, wow, Factory of Art is a good band. That's
Yeah.
the thing.
yeah, it's building that live presence. I think as we can do all this promotion via the internet, social media, etc., but nothing still beats getting out there. People coming to see the performances, then word of mouth spreads as well. And
Yeah,
that was it. I've remembered my point now. I was going to say metal with all the different genres it has. I do feel it is one of the few forms of music where the elder statesman bands and older bands are respected by everybody. People will still go back and listen to that music compared to, I'll say, hip hop, for example, where
yeah,
not so much in the underground, but if you go in the mainstream, there can be disrespect to the forerunners of hip hop, but you don't get that in metal. Saxon, as you mentioned, still rocking strong, very well
yeah,
respected. Same with Uriah Heep. I mean, I know it's not exactly metal, but Jethro Tull, he's still active
yeah, yeah,
with his music. And for me, as long as you enjoy what you're doing, which you obviously do, and you've got that passion as a band, then if you want to come out in a Zimmer frame at 95, whatever, wearing leathers, you know what? We would still all respect you in the metal scene. It doesn't matter. We will
yeah,
still give that love and support. Or if someone wants to come out just wearing, I don't know, a suit, it really doesn't
yeah,
matter. We are there for the music, and we're there to support the music, regardless of whether it's a new band or a band from a long time ago. It is still a form of metal and rock.
yeah,
Um, and I think that is one of the good qualities about the metal scene that can get lost because sadly negative stories always make the headlines now. But
yeah,
there can be this misconception about the metal scene. It's actually very welcoming, very friendly. Um, it's the same if we bumped into each other at a show. We saw what bands are you into, and we'll start chatting, go back and forth. And even if I'm in a different style compared to you, different scene, there will be one band or something that we will have in common. Always, there's always something that
yeah,
you find in common with another metal fan, even if that's a pure black metal fan and say you're more classic rock or pure thrash. There's always something,
yeah,
and I like it now that as you said, with Wacken and other festivals around the world, that they are now showing both the extreme side to the classic as well. And I think that's important for people who are new to the scene so they
yeah,
can see that history. And for people like me that may have never seen that band before, or someone who's new to metal, regardless of
yeah.
what age they are. So I think you're definitely onto the right track. I've
Thank
got
you.
to ask this quickly. Quickly, it's a non-musical question. Um, I know you're from, and I'm probably going to butcher the pronunciation here. I know you're from Leipzig.
Yeah,
Leipzig. So
Leipzig. Yeah.
Do you support RB Leipzig? 'Cause-
Oh, oh, what a tricky question. Um, uh, Let me say, sure, we all in Germany respect and know very good the Premier League, sure,
yeah,
Kloppo, um,
yeah,
but in Leipzig, RB is, I think it's a very good product. It's a very good team, very successful. But there are some underdog teams in Leipzig I prefer.
yeah. Oh,
Yeah, they play in the third or fourth league. Um,
yeah.
RB yesterday or
Big
on
Bayern
Saturday,
Munich.
yeah, beat Bayern Munich
Yeah,
3-0. It's great. We have Harry Kane now in Germany. Thank you
yeah,
very much. Uh,
yeah. You're
uh,
welcome.
and but I respect it very much because they started in the third or fourth league in Germany, and now they play Champions League. They win the cup in Germany, the Super Cup.
Yeah,
Um, and that business and sports go together. Oh, that's not new. For you in England, come on, Chelsea. Who owns Chelsea? Man City.
Yeah.
It's a great team, but uh, in Germany, the idealists, I don't know, the man who wants the world like 50 years before say money no gets goals but money makes the world, the sport world go round. Sorry, in football and soccer, of course. Um, I thought that RB lost a few very important players. I think Guardiola, they went to Great Britain, um, I don't know exactly, to Chelsea, Nkunku, I think maybe. Now they have a new team and they beat Bayern Munich with Harry Kane 3-0. Great. I'm not a fan, but I respect them. I'm a
Yeah.
fan of Schalke 04. It's tragical, but it is. You know Schalke
Yeah.
04?
Yeah. Yeah. See
No.
Schalke. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
It's my favorite team. Yeah, second league.
Yeah. Well, I do think, like you said, for the underdog, there are people around the world nowadays that have that love for the underdog teams because they don't have the money, so they have to. It's so much harder for them. It's like an underground metal band, and they have to really kind of build from within, and then often the best players will get bought by the higher
Yeah, sure.
teams, or a team from another country will come and buy one of their prospects. So then they kind of have to restart again. Um, it's interesting that we know about the money with the Premier League, but now we're seeing Saudi Arabia, that
Oh
league
yeah.
now started by the Brits. Like today, I haven't read the full story yet, but just before we went on air, apparently Paris Saint Germain have sold Neymar to one of the
Yeah,
teams,
yeah.
and I'm
Ronaldo,
gonna
what
yeah, yeah. So
Benzema.
it's
Oh,
yeah,
what's that? Yeah, yeah, sure, sure. But it's a I think it's I'm interested in, but I'm a critic. I'm critically interested in these things, but um,
mm,
uh, I don't know exactly how is there a border in the Premier League? I think there are 5 or 6 teams on the world level, and then there is West Ham United as such teams. Um, uh, I we know these teams, um, uh, but it's like Schalke 04 in Germany. Yeah, we know it, but better known is are the teams with international success.
yeah,
Sure, it is.
Dortmund and
Yeah, sure.
Munchen, yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
and
sure.
Werder
And
Bremen, yeah.
yeah, yeah, but it's normal.
Mm.
It's a normal thing. And but you asked me about RB. I can see the stadium there over. I
Wow,
work here in the fourth floor in
wow.
our office, and if I look throughout the window, I can see these RB
Oh
logo.
man, that's awesome.
Yeah,
Oh man, do you
yeah,
know Thor? Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, yeah, okay, okay, okay. But it's football I'm interested in, but I want because we you asked about our musical influences. Um,
Yeah,
we spoke about the many genres of metal, but the moment you can't resist is if you are on a concert with Iron Maiden and Bruce Dickinson ask you or scream for me, Leipzig. Uh, that's a moment of life. That's great. Yeah, I've been in Frankfurt. I've been in Leipzig to Maiden. That's the reason I make this hard music.
yeah,
It's great. I'm a little bit disappointed that Ozzy has delayed his final tour again and again.
yeah.
But do you think he will?
I, do you know, I I love Ozzy, and I'm sad as well
Go
when
on
I see
tour,
Ozzy.
nothing.
Yeah, because I do think as well. I think his life, the drugs. I think
Yeah,
it's an alcohol is caught up with him now, and that's why there's some of these problems. I think. I've only seen him once live. I think it was at Download Festival, and yeah, and the atmosphere was fantastic. I hope he can get out there and tour because Ozzy always has this. There's something very vulnerable about him as well. Um, there's a soft side there, and
yeah,
I mean the guy is hilarious, but you always want to. For me, I always want to. It's like that kind of person where you always want to make sure that they're okay, take care of
yeah,
them. That always comes across to me. So yeah, hopefully he can go on tour again and be in good health. Um, really,
yeah,
because he is one of those names in metal. Like
yeah,
we've been saying with football. He definitely is one of those names that stands out there. And I just got a little excited when you mentioned you could see the stadium, because one of my dreams, Thoralf, is to visit all of these famous stadiums and all
oh,
these
okay,
different leagues around the world. I think that would be awesome. Look at the history and culture behind them.
yeah,
So the nerd in
yeah,
me was starting to get excited.
yeah.
So
I
fantastic.
I can understand it,
Yeah,
because but Ozzy had let me just say a few words about Ozzy.
yeah, yeah, sure.
He as a guitarist, I have to respect and wonder, uh, the guitarists in Ozzy's band. Uh, wow, Randy Rhoads, Jake E. Lee, Zach Wild. Uh,
Yeah.
now I don't exactly know the name of it, but he had a younger guy. Um, he's very excellent. Um, it is a very brilliant team. I saw Ozzy two times with Zach Wild, and
Well,
with Robert Trujillo on bass.
yeah,
It
yeah,
was
Metallica.
was a mess. Wow, what it was fantastic. But these are the iconic musicians. There, I'd like to go to an Ozzy concert too, but uh, one of the guys we all my bandmates in Factory of Art very like is Devin Townsend, because
Oh,
he's
yeah,
a crazy guy who
yeah,
I don't know exactly in English, but he makes the musical way a little bit bigger for us all, because he has very nice songs with sweet melodies with, and then we will push up to a metal opus. What, that 70 guitars on every side, that's so great. uh, and this is a very good example for that. What we mean and what we understand, what is the range of hard music today. And he can use everything in this music. This is a guy here, we love very much.
he he's like I saw him once in Manchester support. What was it? Possibly Arch Enemy in Flames at the time, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah, yeah,
And he was like an eccentric scientist.
yeah,
His crazy hair, and he's all the facial
yeah,
expressions.
yeah, yeah.
He's like this, and his hands are moving everywhere, and that was his entertaining.
Yeah, yeah, and he had a very hard time with Strapping Young Lad. I
Yeah,
know that was very
yeah,
brutal music.
that was it.
Now with the Devin Townsend band, uh, uh, I love his guitar playing, but I love his guitar too. If you have the chance to Google the Devin Townsend signature model, uh, it's very expensive, but it glows glows in the dark. It's so nice. It means
Lightsaber guitar.
I play Jackson. Doesn't glow in the night, but it plays very good, and sounds very good. But the guitar of Devin Townsend, if he stands on the stage, and it will very dark. The light is very dark, and you only see the bars of the guitar and the pickups. They have a little lights. It's funny, but it's crazy and very impressive for me as a guitarist. But I think £10,000 for one instrument. It's
Yeah, yeah, that is insane stuff. It's very cinematic that though, and it kind of like puts a futuristic sci-fi feel on it, especially when
yeah.
you're live, the lights are out and you just see the guitar light up the different colors. Almost like as if it's Star Wars but on guitar. Uh,
Yeah,
so, but
but it's not only the visual impression when the band play and these guitars sound raw like a monster wave comes about. Great. But let's talk a little bit about our or my favorite British metal band. It's
yeah,
a band without riffing. They are very good musicians. Haken from London, you know. Haken.
Haken. No, no, I don't actually. So I'm
It's
going to look them up. Haken.
they are it's progressive. It's very technical music, but with sweet melodies, with great choruses. Um, I it's a recommendation.
Oh,
Uh,
God.
Haken. If you in German looks for Haken on a computer, you gave Haken, H
Haken.
A
Okay.
Haken. It means in Germany a Haken is from metal such a thing. That's a Haken.
Ah,
You
wow.
can yeah. But it
Yeah.
means in English. Is it just a name or is it a English word Haken?
Um, I've never, do you know, I'm going to look dumb now.
Okay.
You've got us, you've got us, you've got us. Because I've never come across it actually. Haken.
Okay,
Haken.
it's a recommendation.
Haken.
They have it's the same effect I or we want to bring to the people. Sometimes of some uh, uh, pieces of tracks of Haken, I must smile or I must laugh because they are so good musicians. It's so crazy music. But it's hard music. It's you will like it, I think. But it's a little bit uh, psychedelic, intelligent, but very fast
Oh,
sometimes.
no, no, no. I'm curious. I like a lot of stoner rock, psychedelic rock, doom
Yeah.
metal.
Other,
Um, yeah.
but it's good technical thing.
Mm.
They play eight-string guitars. For me, a wonder how you can play eight-string guitars. Oh, uh, I studied violin for 11 years as a child and as a young man. Um, uh, and I had four strings on the violin. Now I have six strings on my Jackson guitar. Eight
Nice.
strings on the guitar is very
Yeah.
interesting. But
Yeah.
yeah, sure.
Yeah. I have come across now, and I'm starting to remember. I have come across the word, and I've heard someone say "hearken,"
Yeah.
"harkens," um, and I think um, I'm going to blame this on a lack of sleep for looking incredibly dumb today. That's the disclaimer. Um, but I think it's been like I think it's to mean like a hidden difficulty,
Okay.
negotiating something, or I think it's possibly something in relation to that. Um, when I've had some more coffee later, I'm like, and then go back to gee, this is. But no, I'm quite intrigued on that. And again, there's the beauty of metal. Another example. First time we've talked, you've introduced me to a band I haven't heard of before. So that's wonderful, man. I can go
Yeah.
and look them up, um, which
Yeah.
is very
Sure. Yeah. it's a good recommendation. They have 5 or 6 studio albums out,
Yeah.
and maybe they are a little bit better known in Germany because I saw them 3 times here in Leipzig. Um, but I think they are from London.
Right.
You will get it out. Yeah, I think you check it and then you find them. Um, and the technical level of this band is fantastic, and I like the music too. But I like several bands. Muse, for example, 3 people, Muse and a very very huge sound construct.
Mm.
Great.
Yeah. I think as well in metal as I was mentioning, I like all the extreme. Obviously, that's kind of my favorite. But when you hear as well bands that draw those other influences, use of the music.
Yeah,
I mean, you have the neoclassical metal. There's even it's like I guess there are black and death metal, I guess, from Greece, Septic Flesh, Long Running, but they bring
yeah,
a lot of classical and orchestral instruments to their sound. And there's even concerts of them playing with orchestras. And I've always thought like classical music with death metal actually works really well. Um, when you hear the atmosphere that the classical instruments can
yeah,
bring, and then you've got the ferocity comes in with the harsh vocals and the drums as well. Again, like we were saying with Devon Townsend, very
yeah.
cinematic, that atmosphere, and pretty wonderful stuff. Yeah, my imagination is starting to run wild now. It's starting to think of heavy metal stage plays, sci-fi movies, and with heavy metal, and oh man, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but that's the beauty of, again, of music. It inspires that visual response, stimulates your imagination.
Yeah, yeah.
Great, it's fantastic stuff. Um, is there anything else that would actually, Thorleif? So who would be some of the people that inspired you to play guitar? I forgot to ask you that.
Phew. Uh, sure, I have idols. I think first of all Angus Young, because when I was a young man I was a huge AC/DC fan.
Yeah,
Then I had these shredder guitarists from the Warner Studios, Paul Gilbert from Mr. Big, Vinnie Moore. I think actually he plays by UFO maybe. Um, Joe Satriani, Steve Vai, sure, but I
yeah,
respect and I'm a huge fan of Steve Morse from Deep Purple. He is such a great musician. He's not the fastest shredder, but he is such a great musician. He knows not only lead guitars but the harmonics on the guitar. It's so great. Um, but I'm a huge fan of the Rammstein guitar sound of these 2 guys too. Uh, that's a dream of us. Not to sell a million albums, but to hear our music with this sound on a great stage, on a big stage, to make boom on the guitar and you feel boom. That's must be great. We have not so great stage, but we not only play in clubs. We have some smaller festival stages for us, but that's a dream of me to have the power in your fingers and your guitar to make pling and woo. This came now.
yeah,
That's a dream, um, and that to bring us to an end. That's a dream we have, and that's the aim we have, to work together with the Hansen Studios in Denmark to get the best sound for
yeah,
musical ideas, and that would be so nice if it will work, because it's not so easy to get your own sound in these times with plugins, with music production programs on every personal computer, um, to get your own sound is not so easy. You want to sound like uh, um, your idols. I want to that my guitar sounds like Fear Factory, like the hard guitarist. But I want to that it sounds like Thoralf's guitar too, and I. Now we sit here very nervous to get the finished mix from Denmark for the new album
Yeah,
of
you want it.
Factory of Art back to
Yeah,
life.
yeah,
Sorry,
yeah, yeah. No, 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 no. You
I
go,
have to
no,
promote it.
you go for it. Yeah, yeah. Well, I would expect you to. I mean, hey, I would happily sit and talk about football all day with you. I would. But yeah, we need a bit of the music in there as well, our people. Yeah. I mean, the show is very open. Where we do go into other areas of interest. A guy was talking last night. We were talking about wrestling, and it's nice
Yeah,
to mix it up a bit. But of course, promote the band. Definitely, it's why you're here. I mean, yeah, I could set up a show where we just
no,
talk about
don't
Bundesliga, but
don't miss it.
yeah,
The
yeah,
musical sensation of the year. Okay, come on.
yeah. But I appreciate what you're saying about the sound process in Denmark, because yes, you're nervous because you want it to match your vision. You want
Yeah,
the authenticity. You want it to sound like what you've created, so then people can hear that, and then for it to sound the quality to sound good as well. So yeah, definitely, sure. So hopefully all that works out back to life, and then
yeah.
maybe the next album, life continues.
Yeah,
So,
sure. Thank you very
yeah,
much. I
you're
will
welcome, man.
compose some tracks. Yes, yeah, sure.
Yeah,
We think, but seriously, we think about it. It's not our last output. We think we uh, we have now tracks, new tracks, but we have some ideas, and if for us is a great step. You said it. Um, to give our material to someone other, to Denmark, to one of the engineers at the Hansen studios,
yeah,
um, because we want to get the best sound. The idea was to make it by ourselves, to make the whole album by Factory of Art. But I think it's better to try someone who comes from not from the band, it comes from Denmark maybe, and his ideas and his imaginations with our music will bring us one step further. I think, I hope, and that's why we are a little bit nervous about it. About
yeah,
that.
yeah. It's yeah, I can understand that, because it's good because you want those fresh eyes to bring a different
Yeah,
perspective, but you also don't want it too far from your idea, from your vision, or then it's not Factory of Art.
yeah,
So I think it's like the same when an author has a TV series or a movie made about his book, and you know
yeah,
how they can change it a lot for TV or the big screen, and then the authors can often get upset because, well, this isn't what I wrote. This really isn't. I understand you changed some, but so yeah, I think from the experience there with Hanson Studios, it will be fine. I'm not going to
yeah,
sit here and say I won't be nervous. Of course I would. But that's natural. I'm not patronising you there either. Um, and you've got that passion, as I've said throughout the show, and hopefully everything turns out okay. Um, you're definitely welcome to come back on the show when the album's released, to tell us
yeah.
about it, and we can help promote it. That would be good. I'm very interested, actually, from what you've told me. It's intriguing. I
Thank you.
think. Oh, you're welcome. Um, I do want to thank you for coming on the show today. I am probably going to butcher your language because I'm going to try and be polite and thank people in German, and I'm going to sound like somebody who's closing off a sporting event or wrestling show. You want to say good night
Yeah,
and thank you, folks. But guten Abend und guten Nacht. Danke dir for listening today. Yes, a bit of English mixed in, showing my limits.
okay.
And, bitte schön, Thoralf. And it's been good to talk to you. And hopefully it will be bis später. Talk later, but not too later.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much to give us a chance to present us here. It was so pleasure and an honor for me. And
Welcome.
I gave a look for the RB stadium for you, and it's a very good dream to you have to visit these stadiums. We have the dream to play on a big stage the new album.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that would be fantastic. Maybe opening for a game as well, tied in
Okay,
there. Man, that would be awesome. Let's make it happen.
okay,
Folks, I want to thank you for those who have listened in live and those who will catch the show later. If you want to appear on Fed Up, please contact me and we'll get something set up. Don't forget to follow, subscribe, and smash the Mosh like button to stay up to date with everything that is happening with Fed Up. Again, thanks to Thoralf, to Marco for helping set this up as well. I've really enjoyed talking to you, and
me too. Thank you.
it's been really interesting, man. And I look forward to discussing the new album with you, Back to Life. So don't forget, folks, to support Factory of Art. I'll put all the links in the description when YouTube finishes processing it, so then you can know where to find Factory of Art out there on the web. And everybody have a good day, morning, afternoon, wherever you are, and I'll see you on the next episode of Fed Up, which actually may be tomorrow. So take care, everybody.